Hello and welcome to the Tamworth FC Social, a podcast all about Tamworth Football Club. I'm Jonathan and I'm joined by Brett and Graham. On Saturday, Tamworth made it 3 league wins in a row with their 3-1 victory at home to Kings Lynn Town. Goals for the Lambs were scored by Liam Dolman, Jamie Jellis, who was in the National League North Team of the Week, and Ty Deacon, and that kept Tamworth top of the league. So, Graham, after a few last-minute winners in the recent matches, how nice is it for a slightly more comfortable win this time?
Yeah, it was fantastic, really. To see a goal go in after I think it was 40 seconds was yeah, it's just complete opposite. I think there must have been about a minute or two between the goal against Brackley and then the goal against Kings Lynn on the Saturday. So yeah, no, it's fantastic. I think obviously a fairly comprehensive win. Good to see High Deacon getting on the score sheet as well. I've been kind of vying him to score because he works so hard. And yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It was a really good win. And it looks like we've kind of turned the corner now, hopefully, and we've got a bit of a gap at the top. So yeah, it's really good actually right now, and it's feeling really pleased and chuffed after on Saturday evening.
Kings Lynn finished second last season and we're only 2 points off top spot. They're in the relegation zone at the moment, but Brett, this was a decent victory, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a really good victory. Obviously, I said last week as well, I was hoping for a more positive result. I thought they would give it a better go. Uh, and obviously, we turned up and we did. It is always interesting when you see a team doing so well one season and then the season afterwards struggling the way that they are. I mean, look, roles reversed, that could be us next season, but a very positive result. And I was surprised, really, to be honest.
So interesting with Kings Lynn and just that finishing second last season. I think they lost quite a few experienced players during the summer. Apparently, their team's quite young now. They started off the season badly, didn't they? And then they've got in Adam Lakeland from Curzon Ashton, and I think he's kind of turned things around a little bit. But yeah, he was. I did hear him on his post match interview blaming our 3G pitch a little bit as well. So funny to hear that. But yeah, they've had a bit of a mad season really compared to where they were last season. So it's good. I mean, we basically beat the two in the last two games. We've beaten the two teams that were in the playoffs last season. So yeah, very good.
There was discussion last week about style of play for Tamworth, and you were both saying I think it's been quite direct lately. All 3 goals against Kings Lynn were, basically offset pieces. The first goal from Liam Dolman, header from a corner. Second from Jamie Jellis was eventually off a corner that was cleared. And then Ty Deacons was off a long throw. You don't really get much more direct than 3 goals like that, do you, Graham?
Nah, I mean it's our meat and potatoes really. We're always just playing this direct football. It's off the throw-ins, it's off the corners, it's off the crosses. It's the second balls in from the crosses. That's just how I think that's just how we play, and it's just picking up the pieces. We have scored a few sort of like more individual goals, definitely towards the start of the season. But our sort of our bread and butter is definitely that. I think I suppose it works for us, and we're effective with it. I think in when we struggled in a few of the games more recently, I suppose it would have been sometimes it's like is there another plan B that we've got there? But we're good at it, so there's no point in changing if we're good at it.
I think as well, with the second goal, there was a really nice bit of footwork in the build up to Jamie Jellis's goal. So I suppose there is, flashes of the sort of the more intricate stuff within the direct goals. Liam Dolman scored within the first minute against Kings Lynn. He's not had loads of game time, but he's now got 2 goals in 2 games. So, Brett, it's really important, I suppose, when you haven't got a sort of focal point up top like a Dan Creaney at the moment, that you've got the others chipping in.
Well, Leon Dolman's the new Matt Redmall, I think. um, Yeah, it is. I think you look at our game last season, though, and obviously Creaney came out with all those goals at the end of the season. But it was very much quite an attack-minded team, and the goals did come from most of the team. It came from all over the place. So I think that's important, and it's good that we've kept that as part of our game plan going into the season as well.
You were a Liam Dolman fan, Graham?
Yeah, he's in. It's interesting because at this level, I think definitely a lot of the away fans give him a bit of stick. And I imagine some of the opposition players probably underestimate him. But when you watch him, he's effective at what he does. And he is a bit like Matt Redmall from years gone by. As long as he's keeping the goals out and he's knocking a few in, then yeah, definitely happy with that.
I thought I'd have a little look at what the stats are saying about Tamworth's goal scoring. So only one team has scored more league goals in 2023-24 so far. That's Scunthorpe. But then looking at the individual goal scorer chart, Carl Finn is the top scorer for the Lambs with 6. The overall top scorer in the National League North has 13. So that would seem to suggest that while Tamworth are doing a really good job of spreading the goals around as a team, there isn't that focal point in attack quite the same way that other teams at the top have got. Do you have any concerns, Brett, about that?
I said start of the season, to be honest, we should have took a punt on Danny Waldron, and then obviously look at the goals he gets you. And obviously that's why Southend are now come sniffing around him. I suppose, no, not concerned. It is. Look, we've got January to come. Loan window will open again anyway for any football league clubs, I suppose, that want to sort of get any match fitness through. I'm not concerned. We're a big enough club at that level. You know, if we need players, we'll get them.
We've done well without having that focal point of a striker. So I think, if Dan Creaney comes back and we've got another fantastic option there, then who knows our style of play, and it will always be like another new signing because he's been out for so long. So I think I don't see any concern with that right now. I mean, if the goals start drying up completely, then yeah, obviously there is a concern. But we've done. I think that just shows how much of a good team we are, really, to be top of the league, and we don't really have that focal striker. Last season, Dan Creaney obviously got a huge amount of goals. Was probably one of the main, a big factor in it was putting the ball in the back of the net, and it was keeping us at the top of that league. So it's just testament to the team and the management, really, I would say.
Looking at the league table, then Scunthorpe just 1 point behind Tamworth in second place, but there is that little bit of daylight now between second and third place. South Shields, who haven't won for 2 games now. How do you feel when you look at the league table at the moment?
The only thing really I would say is that there is that daylight coming. Scunthorpe are just very close to us. I'm not overly concerned, I think, with the rest of the teams at the minute because of that gap that's coming and the games we've got coming up over Christmas. And look, I mean, like if we don't end up going up, that was never the agenda anyway this year. And if we were to even end up dropping out of the playoffs and finishing, I don't know, say 10th or 11th, that's still a fantastic season for us. I just think that, as I said last week as well, we've got a very kind December. So as long as we aren't complacent, I don't know, maybe I'm sounding a bit complacent, really. If the team's not as complacent as I am, then I think we're in a really favourable place. We've got Warrington and then Chester. They're games that we could really look at getting something out of, and then going into, like I said, a favourable Christmas period. So the table at the minute is looking really strong for us, really good.
I think we've just got to enjoy it. We've had a really good season so far. We've exceeded expectations massively. But I think we are, going back 10 years ago, we were a decent club at this level, and we still got that pedigree. So, I think, now, obviously when you're in that position, the expectations suddenly raise again a little bit. So I think, obviously, like, even if we did finished in the top 10, that would be a good season for us. But it would be a shame to obviously drop up after such a fantastic start. I think we'll continue holding our own as long as we keep the momentum up. I think I'd say the next 2 games are going to be fairly tough. And I agree with Brett. We've got a favourable December, but I don't think we can sort of rest our laurels yet.
I suppose on saying that though, I'm saying we've got Warrington Saturday. It's a favourable game. They came up as well last season, and they won a very hard league in the Northern League as well. So actually, they'll probably be looking at us and saying, "Yes, Tamworth are top of the league," but these really are no better than what we are.
Yeah, 100%. I think they definitely will be. I think they'll be right up for it.
So before we look ahead to Saturday's away trip to Warrington, I thought I would get both of your predictions for December. So the fixtures, of course, Warrington away first, who are 15th in the table. Then Chester away, who are 12th. Then it's Southport at home, they're 13th in the league. Peterborough Sports away, they're 17th. And then it's a Russell Olympic doubleheader, and they are 20th in the league table there. Lots of matches there against sides that were in that sort of bunch of mid-table sides. I want from both of you a predicted points total for the 6 December league matches. Warrington Town away. Graham, what do you think? Win, draw, loss?
I think we will draw that game. I think it will be 1-1. Warrington's home form's not that great, but I just think they'll be up for that. I think it's a difficult game. So I'm going to say 1-1.
No, I think we'll beat them.
Chester away. Graham.
Chester, I think they're starting to hit some form. So I think this one's going to be really difficult, and a difficult one to call. I'm actually going to go draw again.
Brett?
I can see us losing that one because it's a really hard place to go to. And history doesn't really count for anything really, but we've not had a great history there either.
Optimistic so far from both of us?
I was going to say, no signs of getting carried away just yet. Southport at home, Graham.
Well, I think we're back at home, so I'm going to say win with that. Our home form is very good. So is our away form, but yeah, I think I'll go with like maybe a 2-1.
Brett?
Yeah, I think we'll beat Southport.
Peterborough Sports away, Graham.
I think this should be a win. They're so indifferent, Peterborough, but I think it should be a win. So yeah, I'll go with 3 points on that.
Brett?
Yeah, I think we'll beat them. I think if it was a week later in the middle of the sticky Christmas period, you might look at it and go, ugh. But no, we'll beat them.
And then, so we'll do the Russell Olympic doubleheader now. So the home game, Graham.
I think we'll win that. I think we'll win it comfortably at home.
Brett?
Yeah, I think we'll beat them.
And then the away game, Graham.
I'll go with a draw on that. I feel like we're going to lose points somewhere on the 2 Russell games, but I'd probably say it's probably going to be away. I think they've got a 3G pitch as well, haven't they? So it probably favours us that. I'll go draw.
Brett?
No, I think we'll beat them at home as well.
Do you mean beat them away?
I'll be at their home, yeah. So yes, beat them away.
Right, after adding all that up, so that leaves us with, Graham, you've predicted a total of 12 points from the 6 December league games, and Brett, you've predicted 15. Just interested, after looking at those totals, Graham, do you think Tamworth will still be top of the table going into 2024?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Yes, I do think we will be. I think we'll either be first or second, actually. I think we'll be first or second. I think South Shields definitely seem to have had a blip. I just think the next 2 games are probably quite crucial for us. If we get 6 points out of the next 2 games, which I haven't predicted, I think we'll definitely be top in the new year.
Looking ahead to Saturday's away game at Warrington Town and Gap. So Warrington Town, 15th place, right in that mid-table bunch of teams, we've already said. They're only 4 points off the playoffs, but their recent form's a little bit up and down. 1-2, lost 2 of the last 5. Like Tamworth, promoted at the end of last season. They've won as many games as they've lost so far. So they've found it a bit of a tougher ride in Tamworth so far. Thoughts ahead of Warrington away then, Brett?
I think we'll win 2-0. We had a good result last week. We had a really good result on the Tuesday. We'll be full of confidence. Why not?
Graham?
I predicted a draw. I obviously hope we win. They're a bit of an unknown quantity to me, Warrington. What I can see is that home form's just not that great. So I feel like we've got to be able to take advantage of that. From what I can see, they don't. Well, they seem to score quite a few goals and concede quite a lot. So it might be a bit more of a high scoring game than what we think. I think we've just got to take advantage of that poor home form and just take it to them really, which we will do anyway. I'm sure of it. Go into the game with good confidence and yeah, let's see where it takes us.
Few notable results for Warrington Town. They drew with South Shields in October, but they lost 1-0 to Scunthorpe at the weekend on Saturday's game. They didn't win either of those games against the fellow top 3 teams for Tamworth. Could be potentially tricky though, I suppose.
Yeah, very tight games from the looks of it. I did see that myself, so I bet that they'll probably sit back and probably up to us to come on to them and attack. So yeah, that's why I'm a bit like not sure if we'll just draw this game, and that would probably be a good result. But I don't know. I'm not sure actually who Scunthorpe and have got actually on Saturday. So yeah, I think it's gonna be tight.
Hereford away for Scunthorpe on Saturday.
That's hard for them because the
Difficult
form that
game.
Hereford are in is very, that they're in really good form at the minute. So I think that's difficult.
Yeah, you'd hope Hereford can help us out a little bit there. I mean, they're still a big club. That'll be a good crowd there.
Yeah, they will. That'll be like an old Football League One crowd.
Yeah.
Right. So next, we're going to review the predictions that you both gave for Kings Lynn Town on last week's show. So we're going to start doing a little leaderboard of your predictions. You'll get 1 point for calling the match result correctly, i.e. the winning team, or calling it a draw correctly. And you'll get 3 points for predicting the correct scoreline. Graham, I believe last time you predicted a 2-0 win for Tamworth. Brett, you said you thought it'd be 2-1. It ended 3-1. So, Brett, you were only 1 goal off, but that does leave you with 1 point apiece in a little competition between you both. I've asked you a few times now for the scoreline for Warrington Town, but now you know what is on the line. Can you please give me your scoreline predictions for Warrington Town away? We'll start with you, Brett, first.
Yeah, 2-0.
And Graham?
I'm going to go 1-1. So I'm sticking with what I said with the prediction.
That's all for this episode of the Tamworth FC Social podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can do that by clicking the subscribe button and turning video notifications on. Until next time, goodbye.